Now we have question number 2 on the board here. Right, the question shows a pie chart already. You can see the pie chart, all right, displaying on the screen. So based on this pie chart that is displaying on the screen, we have questions to answer. These are the questions I'm going to read. So follow along as I read, okay? The pie chart displaying on the screen shows the number of favorite subjects. Using the information provided, answer the following questions. Question number 1. Which subject is liked the most and why do you say so? Question number 2. If the total number of students whose response have been shown in the pie chart is 20, how many students said that science is their favorite? Question number 3. What is the probability that a student selected at random has English as his favorite subject? Question number 4. What is the sectorial angle of French and how many students have French as their favorite subject? Then question number 5. What percentage of students liked mathematics? So these are the 5 questions we are going to answer using the pie chart that is displaying on the screen. Are you ready for that? So start thinking and follow along as I interpret these questions given to us. As I use these pie charts, alright, about 20 students and their response on the subject they like the most, their favorite subject. We're going to use these pie charts to interpret these questions. Are you ready? So let's go. The very first question here, which subject is liked the most and why do you say so? Now, take a look at the pie chart. You can see that, right? So looking at the pie chart, which subject can you say is liked the most? Clearly, it is that subject that has the highest sectorial angle. And which subject has the highest sectorial angle there? If you take a look, that is the subject with the pie chart angle 144 degrees. And that subject is mathematics. So we could write, mathematics is liked the most. Mathematics is liked the most. Our reason. This is because the sectorial angle is the highest. I might decide to put the value of the sectorial angle. That is 144. So this one is my choice now, putting the value, okay? It's my choice. I might decide not to put it. I've already answered the question directly. Now let us move on to question number 2. In question 2, we are asked if the total number of students whose response have been shown in the pie chart is 20. How many students said that science is their favorite subject, okay? Now, we are interested in the number of students that said that science is their favorite subject. How do we get that? We have to look at the pie chart. Take a look. The number of the students whose sectorial angles have been shown on the pie chart there were not given. The number of students that like mathematics, science, French, English, they were not shown there. What was shown there is the sectorial angle. So how do we get this number of students? We will do a calculation using the formula of sectorial angle, okay? Our interest is the number of students that said science is their favorite subject. So we go. For science, the sectorial angle is 36 degrees. So I'm going to write science 36 degrees. That's the sectorial angle as we see from the pie chart. So what do we do to get the number of students whose response gave this 36 degrees? It's simple. We're going to recall the formula for calculating sectorial angle. So recall, we know that to calculate sectorial angle equal to number of items divided by total numbers. So in this case, permit me to write it as number of students, please, since we are dealing with students now. Divided by total number of students. And then we'll multiply it by 360 degrees. So we are going to use this formula and substitute the values into it. What we are looking for is number of students we don't know. So we can say let the number of students be x. Let the number of students be equal to x. So we don't know it. We are now going to substitute into this formula and see. Let's go. It's going to be sectorial angle of sines. And the sectorial angle of sines is what? 36. So we'll get 36 equal to number of students who say they like sines. And the number we don't know, we said let it be x. So I'll put x there. All over total number of students. And the total number of students, we know that there are 20 students. That's what the question number 2 said. 20. Then we are going to multiply it by 360 degrees. Do you see the reason why? What you learned from quantitative reasoning is very important. How to substitute something into values, into a formula. Remember I told you quantitative reasoning is simply mathematics. It's simple equation in mathematics. Okay, so let us go. We are now going to solve for x. We are going to calculate for x. How do we do that? I've already taught you principles of simple equations. When to collect lightens, when to cross multiply, when to divide both sides by the coefficient of an unknown. Looking at this, we can do division here first. I've told you whenever you can divide before you do anything multiplication. Now this 20 can divide this 360. 20 divide 20 will give you 1. 20 goes into 360 will give you 18. Okay? In question number 1, we saw something like that already when we solved a problem, sectorial angle of Mr. So-so and so's farm. So this is now going to give us, permit me to do the calculation here. This symbol means it implies, it means that 36 will now be equal to x times 18. Because what we have here now is x multiplied by 18. And x times 18 will give us 18x. Did you take note that this simple equation now has coefficient of the unknown? The unknown is x. And x is the number of students who like science. Now when you have 36 equal to 18 times x, you are looking for x. You want x to stand alone. And x has a coefficient here which is 18. So what do? Principle of simple equations said, if you see something like this, you do dbs. So I'm going to divide both sides by the coefficient of the unknown. And the coefficient of the unknown is what? 18. Alright, let's divide both sides here by 18 and see. It's going to be 36 divided by 18 equal to 18x divided by 18. I've divided the left hand side by 18, the right hand side by 18. So let us see, this 18 will cancel out. Then 36 divided by 18. Of course, you know 18 can divide 36. You can even choose to start with 9. Because 9 can divide both of them. But if you are good in multiplication, like I said, you don't need to stress yourself. The HCF of 36 and 18 is 18. That is the highest common factor, is 18. So 18 can simply go. 18 divide 18, you get 1. If 18 divides 36, it will give you 2 times. So do you see that I have 2 over 1? And 2 over 1 is equal to 2. Equal to 18 here. Let me do the conclusion. Therefore, x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2. What does that mean? The number of students who like science will be equal to what? X. And x is what? 2. Let me conclude it here. The number of students who like science is 2. Therefore, the number of students who like science is 2. So that is how we solve for that question number 2. And please take note of this thing we did here, okay? It's very simple. We use the formula of sectorial angle. And we are looking for the number of students who say they like science. We don't know. That number that was divided by the total, which in this case is 20, then multiplied by 360 degrees to give you the sectorial angle of sines. We don't know that number. I said we should call it x. We called it x. We now substituted into this formula. Remember, question number 2 is talking about sines. So sectorial angle will now become sectorial angle of sines, which is 36 from the pie chart. And that's what I have here. Equal to number of students who like science. I don't know. We say we call it x. Divided by the total number of students, which is 20. Then multiply by 360 degrees. So from here you do your division, okay? Divide both sides by the coefficient of the unknown. And we got 2 students as the number of students who say they like science. This takes us straight on to question number 3. What is the probability that a student selected at random has English as his favorite subject? So how do we solve this question? Once again, go to the pie chart. We are looking for the probability that if you select a student, the student's favorite subject will be English. So we go straight on to our pie chart and check the sectorial angle of English. The sectorial angle of English there is 72. Remember that probability of anything is the value of that thing divided by the total. We already treated that in one of our classes under this data collection, I think under frequency table. Alright, question number 3. I'll go straight ahead, we don't have time. Probability that a student selected at random has English as his favorite subject. Probability. I'll just write English here, probability in brackets English. Now, there are 2 ways I can solve this question, but I'll use the easiest way. One of the way is using the sectorial angle directly, which is 72. Because the sectorial angle of English is 72. I will divide it by the total angle. Remember that 72 is 72 degrees. And we say probability of anything is the value of that thing divided by the total. If I'm using the sectorial angle to calculate this question, it's going to be probability of English equal to sectorial angle of English divided by the total sectorial angle. And of course, you know the total sectorial angle is 360 degrees. I have been saying that. So you're going to have 72 divided by 360. Then you reduce it and see what you're going to get. That is one way. Another way I can solve that problem is to know how many students said they liked English. How many students said that English is their favorite subject. And to get the number of students that said English is their favorite subject, I will do something similar to what I did here. But this time around, I'll use the sectorial angle of English, which means I'll do 72 equal to x divided by 20 times 360. Because 72 will now be the sectorial angle of English, you know, from the pie chart. You can see that. Substitute it into the sectorial angle formula and then solve and get the number of students that said English is their favorite subject. If you do that, to get the probability now, you will do that number of students that said they liked English, that English is their favorite subject, divided by total number of students, which is 20. But I wouldn't do that. Let's not stress ourselves to that. We can use the sectorial angle directly and solve. Sectorial angle of English, once again from pie chart there you can see is 72. So it's going to be 72 degrees divided by total degree. Total angle in a circle, which is 360. Let's divide this and see. 9 can reduce this for us. How do we know if 9 can reduce it? Rule of divisibility. To know that 9 can divide a number, if you add the digits in that number, 9 should be able to divide it. If you do 7 plus 2, you get 9. 9 can divide 9, so 9 can divide 72. 360, if you do 3 plus 6 plus 0, you still get 9. 9 can divide 9, so 9 can divide 360. Let's do that and see. If 9 divides 72, we are going to get 8. If 9 divides 360, first of all, let's take this 36. If 9 divides 36, it's going to give us 4. It's going to give us 4. Then 9 divides this 0. Of course, you still get 0 there. So you have 8 over 40. We can still reduce this. 8 can divide 8, you get 1. 8 can divide 40, you get 5. So you see the probability is equal to 1 over 5. Answer. The probability is 1 over 5. So 1 over 5 is the probability of students that said English is their favorite subject. Okay, question number 4. Question number 4, we are asked, what is the sectorial angle of French? And how many students have French as their favorite subject? So first of all, the sectorial angle of French. Sectorial angle of French. To get the sectorial angle of French, take a look at the pie chart. You see clearly from pie chart, when you find French there, the sectorial angle, the pie chart angle there is what? 108 degrees. So simply, sectorial angle of French equals 108 degrees. And now the question continued. How many students have French as their favorite subject? Remember, this sectorial angle is not the exact number of students. This thing is just degree. To get the exact number of students that gave us this degree, the number of students that said that French is their favorite subject, which we converted to this degree. To get that number of students, we'll do the same thing we did for this question number 2. We'll use the sectorial angle formula. Are you ready? So we go, recall. The sectorial angle formula is giving us number of students that liked French divided by total number of students times 360. So sectorial angle equals number of students. I'm going to divide it by total number of students. And then I'll multiply by 360 degrees. So sectorial angle for French is 108. I'll start substituting now, okay? Here, I'll fix 108 for French. Number of students, I don't know. The number of students that said that French is their favorite subject, I don't know. Permit me to put Y there. Let's use Y for it. Okay, let's use Y. I was supposed to have written, let the number of students that have French as their favorite subject be equal to Y. Just like I did here. I used X for that signs. So divided by total number, which is 20 times 360. Now it implies that, it means that, let's reduce this. 20 into 20 is 1, 20 into 360, we got it already to be 18 from here. So we are now left with 108 equal to Y times 18. And Y times 18 will give us 18Y. Now you see coefficient of an unknown there. You know what to do. dBs by 18. So we're going to divide both sides by 18. And if I do that, this is going to give me 108 divided by 18. Let's do that. 108 divided by 18 equal to 18y divided by 18. This 18 will divide through to give you 1. So you'll be left with y there. Then we have 108 divided by 18. 9 can divide through there. If we use 9, let's find out what we get. 9 into 18 will give us 2. 9 into 108 will give us 12, okay? Then again, 12 over 2 can still reduce, you know that. 2 can divide 2, you get 1. 2 can divide 12, you get 6. So you see clearly that 6 over 1 will give us 6, equal to y. Let me conclude. Therefore, okay, it implies that y is equal to 6. Conclusion. Therefore, the number of students that say that French is their favorite subject is equal to 6. It's equal to 6. Answer. Now let's go to the last question, please. In the last question, we are to get the percentage of the students who liked mathematics. So I'll be very fast in solving that. It's simple. Percentage of students who like mathematics. Again, there are two ways you can solve this. Either you use the sectorial angle divided by 360, then times 100. You know, to convert it into percentage, you take the fraction and then multiply by 100. So that is one way. Or we can decide to go and calculate the number of students that actually say they liked mathematics. Alright? And then from there, we can now divide it by 20. If we get that number of students that say they liked mathematics, divide it by 20, then multiply by 100. If you do any one of these two, you get the same answer. But I'll use the sectorial angle directly. Let's go. Percentage. Percentage of students that liked mathematics. So I'll just write percentage in brackets mathematics. I want to manage this space. Will be equal to sectorial angle of mathematics. Please take a look at the pie chart there. What is the sectorial angle of mathematics? 144 degrees. We already got it also from question number 1. So it's going to be 144 divided by total sectorial angle, which is 360 degrees. And then we will multiply it by 100. That 100 converts it to percentage. Let us reduce and see. 360, the denominator here ends with 0. So you cancel that last 0 and cancel the last 0 in 100. We'll be left with 36 as denominator. 144 over 36 times 10. Now this 144 and 36, they can be reduced. They can be reduced. 9 can divide both of them. Are you following? 9 into 36 will give us 4. If 9 divides 36, you get 4. Now, if 9 divides 144, what would we get? Let's take it slowly and see. If 9 divides 14, that would be 1 time remainder 5. Attach the 5 to this 4, you get 54. 9 divides 54 will give us 6. So that is 16. Now again, you have 16 over 4 here. Remember, you still have times 10. I want to reduce this first. Let's go and see. 4 can divide 4 and it will give us 1. 4 can also divide 16. We will get 4. So we are left with 4 times 10. And 4 times 10 will be equal to 40. So my answer will simply be 40%. 40%. So the percentage of students who said that mathematics is their favorite subject is 40%. And that is how we have done good job on this question, alright? So take a look once again on our pie chart. Is that okay? And see how we use this to solve all of our questions. In our next class, we are going to be looking at measures of location, also called central tendencies. Now we're going to talk about the mean, the mode, and the median in that class. So how far do you understand what you have learned from this topic, from this lesson on pie chart? You can try yourself out, okay? Visit the GMAT 41's quiz channel and you have a quiz on pie chart there to take and find out how many questions you can score correctly. Remember, if you have any question, you always have the right to send the question across to us. You know how to do that already. I'll be seeing you in our next class.